In June 2020, a man got on a private jet in Austria and disappeared. He wasn't just running from a $2 billion accounting fraud. New documents show he had help getting out, and that help came from inside Austria's own intelligence service. His name is Jan Marsalek. Until a few days earlier, he was the chief operating officer of Wirecard, a German payments company that was, on paper, worth more than Deutsche Bank. Then auditors discovered that nearly 2 billion euros the company claimed to hold in Asian trustee accounts simply did not exist. It was never there. The whole valuation was built on a number that was fiction. Marsalek was fired. Within hours, he was gone. For years, the story everyone knew was that he fled to Minsk and then vanished into Russia. What almost nobody has covered is how he actually got out of Austria in the first place, because that part only surfaced recently. A newly reported arrest warrant names a senior official from Austria's domestic intelligence agency, along with a former member of parliament from a far-right party, as the two men who arranged Marsalek's escape. A private jet. 2 pilots coordinated in the hours after his firing, before Wirecard had even filed for insolvency. Austrian police detained the intelligence official. A third person from the same agency is also under investigation. This means one of Austria's own state security officials allegedly helped a fraud suspect vanish before the fraud had even become public knowledge. So where did he go? Investigators eventually tracked him to Russia. Not hiding in a basement somewhere, but living openly in Moscow under a fabricated identity. He took on the name of a real Orthodox priest from a small Russian city, a man who actually exists, whose passport identity Russian intelligence assigned to Marsalek, so he could move freely. Under that name, he reportedly built a life, a relationship, businesses in Moscow, regular movement in and out of the country, including trips toward occupied Crimea alongside Russian special forces. Here's the part that changes the entire story. Investigators now believe Marsalek wasn't just a fraud executive who got recruited by Russian intelligence after he needed somewhere to hide. Evidence suggests he had been working with Russian intelligence for at least a decade, meaning while he was running day-to-day operations at one of Germany's biggest fintech companies, he may have already been an asset. The company itself, with its payment infrastructure spanning dozens of countries, gave him a legitimate reason to move money and information across borders that a normal intelligence operative could never access. That access didn't stay theoretical. In March 2025, 5 people were convicted at the Old Bailey in London as part of a spy cell that answered to Marsalek. Their targets included investigators from Bellingcat, the group that helped expose the Novichok poisoning team, and a U.S. military base in Germany where Ukrainian soldiers were being trained. This wasn't corporate fraud anymore. This was active espionage, running through a network that started inside a payments company most people had never heard of before 2020. Meanwhile, in Munich, the trial connected to the original fraud is still happening. Former CEO Markus Braun is in the courtroom right now. No verdict yet. Marsalek himself remains one of the most wanted fugitives in Europe. Still on Interpol's list, still, as far as anyone can confirm, in Russia. What makes this different from a normal corporate fraud story is that the fraud was never really the end point. It was the entry point. A payments company gave one man legitimate cover to move money globally. When the fraud collapsed, a state intelligence official allegedly helped him disappear before anyone could ask why. And what he disappeared into wasn't hiding. It was a second career that the first one had been quietly building toward the whole time. 2 billion euros vanished in 2020. The man responsible didn't just get away, he appears to have upgraded.